So Anthony, can you tell me how you felt the first day that you walked into the Kent County Jail?
I was nervous.
I was really nervous. Just didn't know what was gonna happen. You know, it was definitely a terrible experience.
So tell me about life before jail.
I was convinced that I was doing nothing wrong. Heroin addiction goes, it's, you get it in the chase to get it. It's pretty much just a race to death.
Had walked around the unit like the first day I was over there, and somebody was speaking about, behind me, just speaking to somebody else about God and whatnot, and I kind of just felt like, I had my own personal thoughts, but
I think you said that it kind of upset you.
yeah, it kind of upset me. I'm like, you're talking about, but then it brought me back to my thought of, look at you're a believer, and look at the life you're living. Look at where you're setting.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to hide. I didn't even want to think of the spiritual side of where I'm at.
Well, there's all kinds of stuff going in my mind. A lot of worries and guilt and shame. And a guy, he gave me a prayer for, he seen that I was down, and he asked, are you okay? I said, not really, because I, what I was going through.
Yeah.
And he gave me that prayer, and it was a pretty good prayer, and I still read it till this day.
How do you feel about this now?
I look at it as a good thing now, after everything I've been through, and it's a blessing.
What made you sign up to go into the God Pod?
My heart was tugging for more, and when I found out what it was about, and I just felt like that's where I had to be.
Okay.
And when I first signed up, the officer said it might take a while, and I prayed. I didn't even really know how to pray, but I prayed, and when, only a few days went by and I was moved, I knew that God was moving and God was doing something.
And now you're in the Biblical Life Pod. What's taking place that you feel a change happening in your life?
Basically just being in the Word. I mean, it's like a spiritual boot camp in there.
Every day, as we'd be doing something to do with the Bible, which I never knew nothing about.
Having guys come in and preaching to you every day, it really just gets you into a new habit.
So it was just a new experience for me, and it felt good to learn that God was there for us forever, and I never knew that, and it was just an amazing feeling.
What is the biggest thing that you learned while you were in the God Pod?
God wants us to live this life focused on Him and not be consumed with the darkness of this world, but to have joy and contentment from Him, and that He wants your life to be completely surrendered to Him, and He enjoys to show up and show out.
How is this going to change you for when you leave here and interact with your family? What are the implications now when you leave?
The biggest thing is I have forgiven myself with the power that God has given me to do it, because I've been 40-some years, I've tried to forgive things and get over things, and I've never been able to do it, and I've always held a grudge, and I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna get you before you get me. And now after this, I don't have that anger, I don't have that, it doesn't even matter to me no more.
Yeah.
For me alone, you've affected me more than anything has affected me in 40-some years.
Amen.
And the people that make the Biblical Life Pod can reach the people that are really, truly sick.
This is where it all starts. For me, this was the pivotal point. And I believe that in a lot of people's lives it is.
So you got a tattoo here, a tattoo with the cross, and you got your children's names.
Yes.
And you were telling me that at the time you got that cross, you didn't even really know the implications of it.
Correct.
I know your children are important to you, and how has that changed now?
My children are my world, of course, but God is in the middle of that, and He is expanding my love for them even more. So it means a lot now. he's there with me as well as my children.
It has a whole new meaning.
Yes.
And God has a whole new plan for your life.
Before I came to jail, I was completely separated from my family and my children. And I think just through the classes and the material, it allowed me to work through who I am and to grow into the mother and the daughter and the sister that I needed to be.
So if you were in front of people that were thinking about volunteering with the ministry or thinking about giving financially, what would you say to them? How would you encourage them to support this ministry?
I would tell them that it is a very good ministry, and there's a lot of good guys in the ministry, and it impacts a lot of people's lives.
Because I would just like to really encourage any volunteer to come in and to give their testimony, you know, even if it's just, you know, it could be anything, but just to say what, you know, the glory that he has did in your life.
You guys are the hands and feet of Jesus. For an inmate, it's the most vulnerable spot, and I believe that God can work on anyone through you guys, and it's so important that you continue to do what you do.
We had an event here, and one of the chaplains said that you were a singer, and then in fact that you had wrote a song.
Yes, I did.
And you stood up in front of everybody and you sang. And I was wondering if you would so graciously bless us in this time by way of closing with that song.
I'm free on the inside. My Bible tells me why, and I have nothing to hide. 'Cause Yah is by my side. You mean so much to me. You are my everything, and I will sacrifice my entire life. If you need someone to call on, you should know he'll be right there. Now you made your mistake. Not in your rest, 'cause I'm free on the inside. My Bible tells me why, and I have nothing to hide. 'Cause Yah is by my side.
That's awesome.
Thank you.